All right, welcome to Help from Heaven. This podcast is for those of you who are struggling. I know there's a lot of you out there, and we're going to offer you divine guidance and wisdom through gifted soul communicator, my co-host, Constance Fox. She has the awesome ability to communicate one-on-one, word for word to the divine. And so we're going to have different spiritual hosts from the other side that are going to be giving us these messages to help guide humanity through some of these troubling times that seem to be on us. So welcome, Connie. Let's
Thank
jump
you,
into,
Stacy.
is there a
Yes.
message for us right away? Let's get into this week's message from the divine.
Yeah, so who's coming through? So this is Jesus now, the consciousness or spirit of Jesus. And he's saying the message this week, but every week is, it's a special prayer that opens your heart to the Creator, our Father. Thank you, God, for bringing us grace. This is a time to learn how to receive your grace more and more and more, how to open ourselves to your grace more and more. And grace is God's blessings, God's goodness, God's love in many different forms and ways, through people, through situations, through circumstances. When you know how to open your heart to God's grace, then your life begins to become more easy, effortless, fruitful, healthy, peaceful, trusting, and fulfilling. This is how we are all meant to live, in this state of being, state of mind, state of feeling, state of perception, state of being. Knowing you are loved, knowing you are cared for, knowing you are protected and safe and perfect as you are. So this will be the theme of our conversations. Always to receive more love and light from our Creator. There will be many different teachings, practical teachings, practical things to incorporate in your daily life that are easy and non-straining. Actually, they are very natural, and it will become automatic again. So this is a perfect time to begin and loving our Father in the beginning. Thank you, Father, for being with us. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for bringing us what we need every day, and increase our awareness so we can hear your guidance and direction more each day. I want to grow closer to you. So that's like the beginning prayer. Yes. So
Wow, there's a lot in there packed into that one statement. He
yes,
answered one of my
Russ.
questions. It kind of like blew my, you went through all my cue cards, Jay. Okay, so that being said, can people that are listening to this possibly for the first time that either don't believe in God or are not really certain, how is Jesus not God? Can they be spiritual? Can these practicalities of the spiritual teachings that he's giving us, can they be applied if they don't believe in God? Like how does that work? Can you give any guidance to people that are kind of on the fence with how they feel about having a creator or Jesus, like the reality of that?
Question. Very good question. If you are here, you were created by something, someone, an energy, a force, a being. We are all God experiencing through the form that we are presently in. So for all of you, you're presently in a human form and experiencing physical life on earth as a human. But the eternal part of you and everyone, even beyond the planet Earth, there are many universes, is the Creator experiencing through you. And it does not matter if you believe God is me, Buddha, a formless energy, if you like the word life force, invisible power, creative intelligence. There are many names. All of them are applicable, or even accurate for your belief systems and level of consciousness. What matters is that you feel and know it's a loving source, that it comes from love. And you're all here to learn how to love yourselves and each other more fully. And the first step to finding your way back to God realization, realizing and knowing and experiencing, having the direct experience of knowing that you are God, is by sending God your love. Tell God every day, I may not know exactly who or what you are, but if I'm here, there's some creator, and I want to know you better. Let God hear that. Let you hear that. Your soul will hear that and start to wake up. It's waiting for you. Your human consciousness or human awareness to want God again. There's a false separation that's not real but feels real. And God needs your cooperation to expand your consciousness, open your heart's love, and infuse its loving existence more and more into your being, into your consciousness, into your mind, into your perception. So it's all about becoming more loving to yourself and to others and to the Creator. Yes, for those who are wondering, I am God. Yes, but so are you. And you are not any less of God than I am. I just developed unconditional love fully. Ego consciousness did not predominate, and I became fully aware of the Father being within me at all times and cooperated with that. And I want to say, when you learn how to follow God's guidance, loving guidance, grace enters your life and your life begins to become healed, and you begin to experience more love and light in your life, and everything starts becoming more loving. So loving qualities, and fear becomes more and more obsolete in your consciousness and awareness and thoughts and decisions and behaviors. So fear gets weeded out, pushed out as quickly as you can handle it. And then more love can shine through from within, that's always there, but blocked by fear. So fear being diffused or dissolved away enables the love that you are to awaken more within you. And we will have a good time getting more and more acquainted with what that is like and how to induce that. So you do not have to spend more years, more decades, more lifetimes living in ignorance and with human trials and tribulations and sufferings and um, that emptiness inside. So, wow, another mouthful there.
That was a good answer. But it makes me, he brought up, I'm glad he did, unconditional love. Um, I feel like humans have a very limited concept of what love really truly is, especially the unconditional that God is. So could could they describe that a little bit more, like God's love in general and also God's love for us?
That's a great question. Yeah, can you define or describe or explain unconditional love more? What a good question. Make no mistake about it, it's your natural state. So it will become automatic more easily than you might think, just with the desire for it. Wake up every morning and tell God, I want to be coming from the perception or the consciousness or awareness of one that's, more unconditionally loving. And I, meaning Jesus, of course, will show you the way. I cannot not respond to anyone asking for this. And it does not matter what culture you come from or religion. I love all of you equally. I am here for all of you equally. Unconditional love means means there's no fear involved in your perception. Having fear removed brings in the spiritual qualities that come from love: trust, faith, serenity, happiness, joy, fearlessness, not needing to get filled inside from something or someone outside of yourself. So you become non-codependent, and you just start feeling and knowing that you're so full inside, so loving and lovable and loved, that these distorted perceptions, from fear, from a fear-based consciousness, start to fade away, and you become more peaceful, happy, loving, forgiving, compassionate, and less judgmental, fearful, worried, angry, resentful. Guilt and shame dissolve away. And it's easy to know an ego-based or fear-based feeling or emotion because it's unlikable, it's negative, and it's easy to know a God-based consciousness or unconditionally loving based consciousness or perception because it's the desired feelings that you all are naturally wanting more of. Love, compassion, peace, joy, trust, comfort. So that's unconditional love. It will become more familiar through the direct experience. It is hard to understand through, the intellect or just words. True. When it becomes a direct experience, it's nothing can replace that, huh? Yes.
That makes sense.
Understood.
I'm glad he brought up asking because that's the first, lesson that I've ever learned with the spiritual side is that you have free will. They will not just impose upon you. You have to, like he said, cooperate, or he needs, you to ask to be brought
So
into
true.
your life. So that's why we're here. Help from heaven
Yes.
to ask your questions.
Jesus says that all the time, and other angels too, says that a lot. Please ask for my help on a daily basis. Tell me how you're feeling. Ask for what you feel you need help with today, because then Jesus can come into your life more. Your angels can come into your life more and support you more, just by simply asking for their help. So what a great thing to remember.
Yes. And speaking of that, we're going to have a segment next called Ask Heaven, where we're going to answer your questions. We'll have a link below where you can submit those questions for us. You can do it via email. You can do it via video. If you want to record a video, we will feature you on the show. And we're even eventually going to have some live callers coming on. So you
Oh,
have
we
a
need.
direct
I
line
look forward
to
to that. Yeah, it'll be fun.
our first question is coming from Yvette in Florida, and she wants to know, since we're on the topic of love, you did mention like codependency and like not needing love outside of yourself, but it is nice to have. So Yvette asks, how do I attract my soulmate?
Oh, what a great question.
I feel
Yes.
like a lot of people have this
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably, yeah, a good one for many. Yes, Jesus, can you answer that for us here? By being loving, by being loving. If you want more love, give more love. It is that easy. But I will add something else to that. Become aware of what's blocking you from being or feeling or behaving or thinking more loving, because that's what's blocking the automatic love from flowing in, through, and out of us. Um, this is Baba G's work. Yes, I know you'll have to explain that, Mahavatar Babaji. But yeah, he's kind of a master at, that's one of his main teachings, at least through me anyway, is to cut to the chase, identify what our underlying unhealed pain and fears are, so then we can become aware of them, acknowledge them, honor them, validate them, feel those unwanted negative feelings, sit there and honor that. And then that's really processing them effectively and enabling them to be released and healed. And of course, most of us want to suppress and repress negative feelings or pain or fear or traumas or from our past, and everyone has something. But yes, that's what Babaji's all about. So he was saying, yes, you might want to explain, yeah, even the hope technique that Jesus gave
Yes.
us some
If
years
you
ago, like maybe
are
10 years ago
hearing,
almost.
yeah, if you're hearing this and you're thinking, I want to attract my soulmate and I have some processing of unhealed emotions that I need to do, but I don't know how, the link for that course will be below. Check that out. We call it the Hope Technique, how to heal our painful emotions, how to open ourselves up to peace and enlightenment. And all that happens through processing our negative feelings and emotions that we have not taken care of. So with
Yeah,
that,
well, it makes it easy. It makes that process kind of very, very simplistic, the hope technique, and just the simple questions that Jesus, has in the hope technique to ask ourselves or even write down, so we can really hone in on those underlying fears that are, yes, blocking us from more joy, more love, and making us literally, more fearless. And it releases the stress, and yeah, very important, because those are the blocks, and it makes it much, much more simple. Yes, and easier.
I guess this ties into, since we brought up the hope technique and, attracting our soulmate, it ties into the concept of just manifestation in general. It seems like the implication is that we should just be able to, boom, manifest the life that we want with a thought, if we are God and we can create to his level of our capacity. Can you clarify a little bit more about just manifestation? How do we manifest? Um, is it just
Yes.
like the desire? Is it letting it go? We hear all these things, the secret. Like, can you clarify how do we manifest what we want in life?
Yes. Wow, I love that question. Um, Making amends with your past by forgiving everything and everyone. Forgive yourself for all the so-called mistakes you've made. Forgive others for all the mistakes or errors or mean or so-called unacceptable things done. Forgive your family members, even if they were far from loving or good parents, or good siblings, or good aunt and uncles and grandparents, or family members. Everyone is at a different level of consciousness. Some are more evolved than others. Some have had more lifetimes to heal and become more loving and wise. And some are further behind than others. Just forgive and know that's the most important thing anyone can do for creating your desires and a happy, loving, healthy life. Becoming more and more connected to your God self, more God conscious, more God aware. It's not always easy when you're very justified. The Hope Technique will help with this, and we will talk directly to those who are wanting personal suggestions or guidance or advice. I am here for you personally and invite you to ask what you'd like to know. And I will be happy to, share that with you. So it starts with forgiveness. There's nothing more powerful than forgiveness. Know that when you're feeling separate from God, who you really are, and are operating from that consciousness of being fearful, incomplete, not whole, then dysfunction comes in physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in thousands of different ways. And forgiveness will bring in the light quicker than anything. And what is the light? But love and the qualities that come from love. And when your energy is more love and less fear, you are going to attract, manifest higher experiences, circumstances, situations, healings, people in your life. You're going to automatically attract what you are in alignment with. So start with becoming aware of the unhealed pain and fear within you. The Hope Technique will help you with this. And write down who you feel you need to forgive. And then each morning and each night, ask me to help you forgive them and yourself. But if it's yourself or whomever, keep doing it until you are free of that anger or resentment or guilt or shame or that negative emotion or judgment. You will be heard. You will be heard, and you will be brought what you need to let go of that more and more at a pace that you're able to handle or tolerate. Some can move more quickly and some need to move more slowly. I will honor that. Father honors that. Your soul, the Holy Spirit, honors that and knows exactly where you are and what you need every moment. But asking brings in our direct support. So,
That's so beautiful. Oh, thank you. I like that. Forgiveness, huh? So forgiveness kind of just is probably one of the top qualities that we need to try to develop because that's going to help us manifest quicker.
yes. Yes, well, that makes total sense. I get that. Because when there's, hurt, pain, anger, resentment, bitterness, or just, any quality of like negative emotions, that's definitely a block. How are we going to be, in our highest potential and capacity of being able to love one and also receive love from that higher capacity from someone else if we're not, in alignment with it? So great reminder. It's always about going within. It's always about ourselves. Changing others or trying to do this on the outside. It's always going within. That's a good reminder.
Yeah, it's always about choosing love, it seems. And I feel like most people don't have, they have their self interest in mind in their interactions and relationships with people. And so they don't always necessarily understand that what you give, you get back. Um,
Yes. And I'm sure you remember, Stacy, we spoke to Mahatma Gandhi, the spirit of Mahatma Gandhi, some years ago. But yes, we asked, numerous divine beings, what would you recommend? To the world, to people, to help us grow spiritually more rapidly. And just one of the things that Mahatma Gandhi suggested was to, spend 1 hour a week, was it? Just 1 hour a week
just in service.
helping someone, an animal, a person, doing something to help bring more love, joy, peace, healing to someone, because giving that really opens the channel to receiving that back, that love back. So, keeping that channel moving and flowing. So where we get off the self and what I need, what I want, and putting it, okay, what can I give? What can I do to help someone else? What can I do to bring more peace or love or happiness or joy to another being? And, putting energy into that. It always comes back, doesn't it? What we give out always comes back.
Yeah.
So,
So if you want something, give it first.
yes. Oh gosh, what a great reminder. It's easy to forget these things, on a daily basis sometimes, and we're, busy with our lives and needing to work and it's yeah. So coming
I just
back
don't feel
to,
like nobody taught us this in
yeah,
either.
society doesn't teach us this. A lot of our parents and families and teachers, and so yeah, so just remembering these things are
Absolutely. So I want to get into Heaven's View, the next segment, where we're going to ask Spirit to kind of weigh in on current events happening in the world from their higher perspective. And I want to just ask, this is kind of more geopolitical, but that's what's in the news these days.
yeah.
And I want to see how Heaven feels about immigration.
Right. I say this to every one of your questions. What a great question. But yeah, that's a good question.
Just like on a national level, like we had a president that had very open borders and we let in a lot of people, and it might have been to the detriment of our own, society and taxpayers, because not everyone is a high quality, loving person coming in. And then I know the argument on the other side is like, what would Jesus do? He would help people, but I feel like it's being a little bit manipulated for other nefarious purposes, whether it's
Right.
voting demographics and I know other countries are having this problem. Like Britain is having protests right now due to their loose policies of immigration. So just what's Heaven's view on this?
Great. Yeah. I don't even know what Jesus is going to say here. Yes, Jesus. We would love to hear your take on this one. Yeah. So, because it's such a big issue, and yes, all around the world now, that's being very problematic for almost every country, really, and there are many of them. And what's the right way, the best way? How would you handle this, Jesus? What's your perception? Making amends with everyone first and realizing you're all from the same tribe. You're all from the same one creator. And where you live, where you were born, where you were raised does not change that at all. The color of your skin, your belief systems or lack of them, you're all from the same tribe. remember this kind of on the forefront of your perception. The only way to bring, harmony to planet Earth is to open the heart's love and expand consciousness. Devolved beings create war, conflict, suffering, violence, starvation, famine, division. So be aware of that. And we will get into many things to do that help. Love, it helps expand love, open the heart's love, and expand consciousness more and more. That's, why we're here, to bring this simple yet profound, priceless, and needed information to the world. But on a practical level, how do countries handle this issue? You need to care for yourselves first, because you will get taken over, simply put, and be destroyed as a country if you are tipping the scale too much with trying to, bring in too many other immigrants that are in a state of need and taking, and it becomes imbalanced. Then there's going to be an imbalance where it starts taking away from the people in that country and bringing their quality of life down. And it becomes one against the other, and fighting for your survival needs, fighting for your rights. Every country, every nation should be responsible for their own people. And it is always good to help others in need, always, always. But it needs to remain balanced so you do not take away from your own people, and make them unsafe or make them jobless or make them more destitute or damaged. So it requires discernment, maintaining a balance, and giving and helping where you can, but keeping it balanced so you do not take away from your own people. Some countries may be able to help more, and some others may be able to help less. But if every country focused on bringing goodness to their own people, in time, everyone would be taken care of. Everyone would be, independent in their own country, and taken care of in their own country. And helping each other get to that is good, but balance is always needed also.
I mean, that's the most common sense answer I've
Yeah, that really is.
heard. I feel like it is a little shocking because you think of Jesus as being like, I'll help everyone, all the time, almost to the level of like, I like feel like Christians in general too like to make it like martyr type level. That's how much you have to sacrifice. uh,
Right.
but that doesn't seem like the case. Jesus
That
says that
doesn't, yeah, help
he says help when
really.
you can, but make your own citizens prosperous and healthy, and that will spread. And every country takes care of their own. Everyone will be happy, and we
And
won't have
there's more people that are in a better position where they can help others as well more. When we're in a
yeah.
good position, we're able to help more, and be there for others more and do more for others. But yeah, simple, practical answer. But yeah, balance is key. Yes.
It does. Is there a kind of an underlying globalist tone like that? This is being provoked and promoted to kind of destabilize some countries in general. Would Jesus say?
If what?
Like using if there's kind of like a group of globalists or like they're using the mass migration of people to kind of destabilize nations intentionally. Would he
Hmm.
agree with that? Is that something that's happening?
There is a dark force always on earth. It's a duality existence. There's good and evil, love and fear, hot and cold, and that will never change. But maintaining a better balance, so to speak, is absolutely essential at this time because the collective consciousness, the majority of the collective consciousness, is damaging to the world and themselves. It's becoming more what's this word? He just uses the word bad. It's becoming a bad. Is that the word? Yeah, it's like bad things, bad qualities, and this needs to be, healed, brought more balance. Um, Many are being manipulated by a higher dark force, and you're not aware of it. And there are groups of people that are like, what's this word, like guiding or giving, damaging ways, methods, damaging influences to people because they have, like a dysfunctional or demented uh, perception. It is out of hand. It is imbalanced. It is predominating on earth right now. And this is, um, like a group of beings that are wanting to um, take the human race and make them, like even more devolved, like a devolved life, a devolved existence. And it is going to be a topic of discussion somewhat regularly because this is about how to grow spiritually. This is also about how to not get on the wrong side because there is a time coming where you will have a conscious choice to make to follow like the dark or negative, superiors or supervisors or governments or leaders, and then or the other side. And it starts with yourselves being more loving, peaceful, and harmonious, and caring and compassionate. It starts with yourselves. But know that the scale is not in a balanced state at all. And that's why there are going to be more problems, stressors, destruction, challenges, um, because there's more negative energy. There's more people that are, coming from a negative energy, and that's going out in their thoughts, their behaviors, um, uh, and that influences each other. Everyone influences everyone. So being more conscious of this so-called threat, that's not a threat. If you're emanating God's love and light, you are automatically safe, protected, and well. You'll be repositioned if that's needed. You'll be brought to miracles if that's needed. You'll be brought, whatever's needed is brought to you automatically. That is how God made it, life and yourselves. This happens automatically, whether you know it or not, or are aware of it or not. Um, so it begins with, oneself, and then also being aware of how to better position yourself in the world for the times coming up, because there is a dark force. There's people are part of it, maybe dark beings, maybe not even, maybe even beyond human. Is it beyond human beings? Yes, yes, yes. That want to bring Earth to its knees and, um, reduce the population dramatically, and then create a society that's more like robots living, like how they're supposed to live, how they're told to live, how they're allowed to live.
Like slaves, kind of.
Yeah, yes, 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 yes. So, this channel will help bring you all practical guidance and information needed for these times coming ahead, um, and how to stay in the light, how to join forces with friends and community, supporting each other, and being in a self sufficient, independent way of life. So you do not have to conform to uh, the quote, the sounds a little icky, but kind of like this dark side, or where there's others that kind of don't want maybe good things for everyone.
Okay, I just got to ask the group of beings. What are we dealing with here? Are we talking demons? Are we talking like reptilians? Are we talking aliens? Are we talking like a
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah,
Anunnaki? Where are we going with this?
right, right.
Can you say?
Yes, yes. There are extraterrestrials, it's ETs, yes, extra ETs, beings from another planet, another dimension, um, not from Earth, not from the galaxy of Earth. um, Earth and the galaxy surrounding Earth um, is one minuscule portion or piece of many, many, many planets, universes. There's different dimensions as well. And um, the evil side is on top right now. That, is against God's love, simply put. That sums it up very simply. It's against God's love. It's not coming from love. And it's not, certainly not loving. And there are demonic beings as well. There are evil beings that are not physical beings. There are some that want to reduce humanity to a much slave like, lower existence. And there are always divine beings and enlightened beings and loving beings that want humanity to grow up spiritually and realize their power, realize who they really are, realize that they are God and not limited, not weak, not helpless, not powerless. Um, so these two sides are always at play on earth. It is a dual existence. Every holy book talks about evil beings since the beginning of humanity, and angels and divine beings since the beginning of humanity. And that will never change. Lucifer does exist. Fallen angels do exist. And there are many different types of beings in existence. Many beings that are non-physical in your ability to see, touch, hear, taste, smell, like in our five senses. But they are there. And some people want um, that guidance, that's more negative, I guess, or evil even, not loving. And then some want the quote good side. Um, so it will be hard to understand how powerful you are right now. It can be told to you in words, but it means so little if you do not feel that or experience that or know that. And I am going to help you remember who you really are. And when you are filled with my love and light, nothing, no one can touch you. Not any negative force, being, spirit, person, nothing can touch you. You have all the power I have. You just don't know it anymore. You forgot. And I am here to help you remember who you really are. And then you will laugh at evil beings, demonic beings, ETs that don't want good things for humanity, or people that don't want good things for other people. Um, it won't come near your dwelling place. It won't come near you. So it's all about awakening the Holy Spirit within you. And it takes care of everything for you. So do not put too much emphasis on bad beings, negative beings, evil ETs, demonic beings. Yes, they are there. Yes, they are predominating the collective consciousness right now. But this channel is going to help many have the tools that are simple but profound for remembering who you really are and connecting to the love that you are, which is also me. And that is so much more powerful than a fear-based, quote, bad being of any type, because they are fear-based.
That makes sense. All right, I think we should wrap up. I know we got a prayer to start with in the beginning, but can we just do an ending kind of closing prayer that we can say for this week to keep us remembered of
Yes,
who we are, keep us protected, keep us high vibration, away from all that scary stuff that we just mentioned.
yes. Yeah, and all the stressors out there and stressed people and stressful circumstances. And yes, great. Jesus, yes. I am going to be blunt, okay, blunt with this prayer for the next week. Um, it is, God, I want to wake up. Please help me. God, I want to wake up. Please help me. God, I want to wake up. Please help me. That's all that's needed for this week, this first week.
Okay. All right, simple
Well,
enough.
that is a
Amazing. Okay, I
simple
like it.
prayer. I wasn't expecting that.
Straight to the point. I like it.
Yes.
If you want to participate in the show, I'll have the link below. Send us your comments. What do you think about what we just said? It kind of wasn't us. It was Jesus was our special guest today. Um, yeah, in the comments below, if you have questions, throw them at us. We want to hear from you. The show is for you to give you guidance from the divine directly. So that was quite an interesting first episode. I like it though. We covered a lot
Yes.
of the big bases. So,
It's right.
all right. Anything last words from you, Connie, before we end this
I don't
today's?
think so. Anything else from you, Jesus, that you would like to say, or messages to everyone here that's listening before we go? Or was that it? Just the prayer? Yeah. So that's it. And well, yeah, I'm presuming maybe you want us to say that prayer every day to God. Yes, yes. Start the day and um, remember to connect with me personally. Also, talk to me like I'm a loving, caring friend. And ask me what you feel you need help with each day. and thank our Heavenly Father for everything that you have, that you are grateful for. And then just goes, yes, that's it.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's always
That was
good to
good
connect
stuff.
to Jesus more and more
Yeah, come
daily.
on.
yes.
Thank
And
you,
just that,
Connie.
it's that simple. That alone right there just does it. Yeah. So keeps us connected to Jesus just by giving him those couple few sentences, every day.
That was beautiful. That
Well,
was
thank
intense.
you, Stacy, and I look forward to getting together next week. And I'm really
Yeah,
excited
next
about this
week.
channel starting. And
No, it sounds like we have a pretty big mission ahead of us.
yes, yes, a good one though. Yes, to say the least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so stay tuned for the next episode. Each week, we have no idea. We're going to answer your questions. So I can't even allude to like what the next show is going to be because we're hopefully going to get you some of your feedback. So send us your questions. We would love to hear from you and get them answered. So
Yes, be happy
hit that
to.
like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Help our channel spread so that we can, rebalance the earth with the love and the light and get that out there.
Yes, perfect.